In this next video, which is for Module 3, Lesson 4, we are going to take a look at some actual graphs of parabolas and match some tables and also talk about some other characteristics of these things too. Okay, so let's talk about graph A here. So graph A, right away we can see, right, we have the characteristic opening up shape. So we know, for example, right away that our A is going to be greater than 0. For whatever the quadratic equation is that describes this, A is greater than 0. Okay? We can also already see that line of symmetry in here too. There it is, right? It's right down the middle of this thing. Okay, it's a vertical line, so it would be the line x equals 2, because this is where the x coordinate is 2. There's our vertex at 2, -1, and it is, of course, a minimum, the lowest point of the graph. We also understand that there are arrows here at the end of our graph, that it means it keeps going. Okay, so let's fill in the table here, because that's what we're really asked to do. So let's see here. At -1, we got 8. Let's see here. Oh, it asks for some fractions, it looks like, too. 2, or no, -1. So we'll do 0. So at 0, we're at 3. At 1, we're at 0. 2, -1. 3, 0, 4, 3, and then 5 right here at the 8. Okay, we can do the same thing here for this graph that opens downwards. So since it opened downwards, we would expect that A is less than 0. Our vertex up here, right, that is a maximum now because of the shape of the graph, right? And again, we expect arrows to be here at the end. It does keep going. All right, and yeah, so let's again fill in this graph here. So can we have -3, 3, at -4, it's at 0. At -5, we're down here at -5 as well. Okay, at -1 then, continuing on, we get up here to 3. And then at 0, we're at 0. Okay, now it asks us to use our graphs and the tables of values from the previous page to fill in the blanks or answer the questions for each below. So the first thing we're asked about here are the X-Intercepts. All right, we want to know what are the X-Intercepts for these two graphs. So let's go back up here. Remember that the X-Intercepts, also known as the zeros, it's where the graph crosses the x-axis. So for graph A, where does the graph cross the x-axis? Here and here. So x equals 1 and 3. Or you can also just do 1, 0, 3, 0. Graph B, go ahead and do that. What are the X-intercepts? Pause the video and answer. Okay, hopefully you got here and here. So -4 and 0. Now the vertex for graph A, okay, back up here to graph A. Where's the vertex? It's this point right here, and it's already labeled for us. Nice, 2, -1. How about the vertex for graph B? Go ahead and do that one. -2, 4. Okay, sign of the leading coefficient. Well, we actually already talked about that, right? Since we have this characteristic U shape, it opens upward, that means our A is going to be greater than 0. So positive, in other words, because A is greater than 0. Positive A value. Okay, then for the other one, the lead coefficient here, we have the characteristic, I don't know, upside down kind of looking shape, U, upside down U. Okay, so that would be an A is less than 0. So in other words, our lead coefficient will be negative. A less than 0. Does the vertex represent a minimum or maximum? Well, we can go back and look at our graph, or we can just remember here, since we have a positive lead coefficient, that means our graph is going to be like this, the U, so our vertex will be a minimum, the bottom of that. Okay, here we have a negative lead coefficient, we'll have the upside down U shape, so our vertex will be at the top here, which means it is a maximum. Okay, points of symmetry. So it asks us to find f of -1 and f of 5. Okay, well, we already did that. Let's see here in the table, hopefully. F of -1 is 8, f of 5 is 8. Okay, is f of 7 greater than or less than 8? Explain. Well, let's take a look here. So f of 7 is what we want to look at here. So here at 5, we're already at the y value of 8. At 7, which would be out here, our curve is going to be up and up and up and up more. So what do we expect? More. Whoops. So greater than 8. The graph increases after f of 5. Okay, and then go ahead and answer for the points of symmetry here for 5. What's f of -1? What's f of -3? Pause the video and answer. And then try and answer this one too. Okay, so f of -1 and f of -3, they're both 3. Okay, f of 2 is -12, it says. So here's f of 2, it's down here somewhere at -12. Okay, and it asks us to predict the value for f of -6. Let's see here. Why are they trying to, why -6? Well, if you look at our axis of symmetry right here, this line of symmetry that goes to the center of our graph, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 units away to the right at 2. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4 units away to the left, we're at that -6. So at 2, which is 4 units away this way, we're going to go down to that -12. So guess what? If we go 4 units to the left, we're also going to go down to -12 by symmetry. Okay, so it will also be -12. So we'll say by symmetry with f of 2 equals -12. Okay? All right, let's go here and get the rest of these properties, and then we'll stop the video. Increasing and decreasing intervals. On what intervals of the domain is the function depicted by the graph increasing? This is for the first graph. So increasing means the graph is going up from left to right. Okay, so where are we going up from left to right? Well, it is precisely this portion of the graph right here. So what's that interval? Well, it starts here at 2 and it goes on forever in this direction, right? Because it's going to keep going over and over and over, right? It's going to keep going up, but also over 2. Okay, so what's that interval? Well, it starts at 2. And it's going to go to infinity. We're not going to include the 2, right? That's why I put the parenthesis here. We're not going to include the 2 because at 2 it's not really increasing or decreasing technically. It's constant. So where are we decreasing? And be careful here. Decreasing is when you go down from left to right. So from left to right we're going down here all along this portion of the graph. Okay, so where does it start? Well, it starts over here to the left at -infinity, right? It's coming in from -infinity, and it's going to end at 2. So it's from -infinity to 2. All right, on the other hand, go ahead and try the other graph and find when it's increasing and decreasing. All right, hopefully you had a chance to do that. So it's increasing. Again, where is the graph going up from left to right? In this case, it's going up from here, left to right, and it stops right there at -2. So increasing from -infinity to -2. And then where does it stop increasing? Or where does it start decreasing? Well, right here, right? It starts at this point and it goes down, 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 down. Okay, so this is decreasing. From left to right, we're going down, right? From this portion right here was increasing because from left to right, we're going up. From this point, we're decreasing as we go from left to right. So that's decreasing. So it's from -2 to infinity there. Okay, and then average rate of change, oof, I'm not going to do all of these here, but these are just average rate of change. That's just the slope. Okay, so it's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So like from -1 to 0, for example, we can just find those points up here. So here at -1, okay, the point on the graph is right here, and then to 0, which is, there's 0, so there's the point on the graph. So what's the slope from this point to this point? That's the average rate of change. Just find the slope between those 2 points. You just count it out. We go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's a -5 rise over 1. That's a +1 run. So -5 over 1. Okay, let's do it again for 0, 1. Okay, so from 0 to 1, 0 to 1 like this. Okay, again, the slope's going to be this way. And so it's going down 3, right 1. Like so. What about for the other graph? Well, again, let's just do 2. So -5 to -4 and -4 to -3 to finish this off here. So -5 to -4. Here's -5 to -4. So find that slope. It's going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. So it's 5 over 1. We'll do one more. Let's do the -4, -3. So from here to here, up 3, right 1. So that's a slope of 3 over 1. Okay, in the next video, we'll get into some of these questions right here.